Hi everyone, it's Barry here from Mitosu Crafts, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators based here in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for joining me for this week's Funfold Friday video tutorial. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a slimline lapel card. So it's a nice little fancy fold, very easy to do, and so it's going to be simply decorated as well. So this video isn't going to be very long, but yeah, it's a nice slimline lapel card. There's various types of this out there on YouTube, but this one I've seen. I've been requested to do this one by someone. It's actually, there's a few videos out there. So if you look for slimline lapel fancy fold cards, I'm sure you'll get lots and lots of ideas as well. But that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do today. Remember, all the products you see us using can be purchased from us via our online shop, so links to our online shop can be found down below in the description down there. Also remember to hit the thumbs up if you are enjoying what you are seeing, and also remember to hit that subscribe button somewhere over here as well to see future videos from us, which we do. Now, we release a Funfold Friday video tutorial for you every Friday, 6 p.m. every Friday, and we go live on YouTube on a Wednesday and a Sunday evening at 7 p.m. and that's all UK time. And we would love for you to join us. If you do join us, please pop on, say hi. We do have the chat feature going on over here, or wherever it is on your device you're looking at. So please pop on and say hi as well. So let's crack on with today's video tutorial. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so the things you're going to need for this card, very simple. But basically, you're just going to need some A4 cardstock. So you need a piece of A4 cardstock measuring 8 1/4 inches by 11 5/8 of an inch. So if you are watching this, obviously in the UK and Europe, or anywhere where we've got our size paper for A4, you just need to take a smidgen off the side, off of the long edge, to make it down to 11 5/8 of an inch. So that there is 8 1/4 by 11 5/8 of an inch. Just take off a smidgen. If you haven't got the correct size paper, you can obviously do this on 12 by 12 cardstock as well, and then cut it down to the correct size. So there are ways which you can do that. You would also need yourself some designer series paper. So you would need one piece measuring 3 5/8 of an inch by 8 inches. And you will need 4 pieces measuring 3 5/8 of an inch by 7 3/4. But you need 4 of those, but you want them in 2 different patterns. So you'll need 2 of them in one pattern and 2 of them in another pattern right there. So remember that. So that's 3 5/8 by 8 and 3 5/8 by 7 3/4 times by 4. All right, so 1 2 3 4 over here. That's pretty much all you need for this card. The rest of it is going to be down to your decoration, so whatever you decide to decorate your card with. And I'm going to actually do my decoration first, because that just needs a little bit of drying time, and then I can then go on to the actual construction of this card. So what I've actually done is I'm going to be using let's just show you here. I'm going to be using the Poinsettia Petals stamp set again with the Poinsettia dies. It's this one right here, because we actually did have a request to do the poinsettias in the snowy white velvet. So I've already gone ahead and I've gone and cut one of these. So it's very similar, obviously, it's just like white cardstock, but it's got this lovely white velvet to it. So it's really tactile. Really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and cut some of those. So I've gone ahead and cut some of them already. I'm going to be cutting some flowers, so I've already gone ahead and I've gone and cut 2 of these. I will be cutting 2 holly, so I'm going to cut some of that on here. I'm going to be cutting some of the sprigs, and I need to cut the centre part out of my bit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut for you the small and emboss the small poinsettia, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to then emboss the second holly leaf right here, just so you can see what they're like, and obviously just to make this a little bit quicker for you. So with the snowy white, it's a lovely texture on this. So all I'm going to do is just run this through on my snowy white. Try to get as much out of my paper as possible. And then what you can do is you can, if you want to pop your die in, I'm happy to do this on this particular cardstock because it doesn't move that much because it's got a fluffy surface. It doesn't move around on it. Whereas if I was using this on regular cardstock, I wouldn't probably put these through together for the simple reason that it will move. And if it moves, then what we don't want to do is we don't want to damage the die. But I'm comfortable doing it with this one because there's some friction, because it's the velvet, there's some friction on it, so it doesn't actually slide around too much. And then by doing that, what we've done is we've gone and cut that out of the velvet, and we've got this lovely die. So it's like an embossing die here, which then embosses that perfectly as well. So I've gone ahead and I've gone and done that one to make us a nice large, nice poinsettia flower. Then I need to do some embossing. So I've gone ahead and I've gone and cut the outline of my silver holly leaf. Now again, I haven't done this together because this is a shiny surface. It runs the risk of slipping and sliding. So just be aware of that one. Pop that on top, so do them separately. Pop that on top. And then run that through. And if you're brave and you use tape, you can do them together, I suppose. It depends on how brave you want to be. And you can see there, it just adds this lovely detail into it. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to then do my leaf right here. So I'll just grab myself a bit of scrap, or not my leaf, my sprig. And this one always gets stuck inside, so I'm just going to use the take your pick tool here just to release. If you have this problem with your dies, you'll notice that there's these little release holes on your dies, and these just help you just pop it out if they do get stuck inside like that. So there we have it. We have got our elements right there. So we've got 3 poinsettias here. I've got 2 hollies, 2 sprigs, and a centre part. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to construct this and let this dry. So first we will just pop some glue in the middle of the large poinsettia. And then offset the medium one. And then do the same, some glue on that one there, and then offset the smallest one. Obviously, because this is on velvet, I just wanted this to dry, which is why I'm doing this first. Okay, so we'll just pop that to one side, and then what you can do is you can then just use some dimensionals on the back here and then pop that center part. So I'm just going to go and grab my dimensionals. Okay, so just take some mini dimensionals here. These fit the back of this perfectly on the back there. And then just pop that in the center of that poinsettia like that. I think the silver and the white work lovely on this. So this is kind of like your focal point of your project. Like I say, the fold itself is really, really simple. Then what we are going to do is I am just going to now add these pieces to the back of my flower. Okay, so just a little bit of glue as we go on here. And you can also use yourself a little bit of tape if you want to, and just to stick things in place. So just position this where you want it. And then if you're struggling to get it to stick down, another little tip, because again it's silver, it does take a little bit of time to stick. If you've got some tear and tape here, you can then use this to anchor that in the back as well. And obviously, so with a little bit of glue and the tear and tape just holds that in place. And then I'm just going to do the same with the other side. I just kind of like position this around. I tend to use tear and tape more for anchoring, really, more than anything. And then we're just going to add some of these holly leaves. And that there is your flower, your poinsettia flower. So take your pieces which you prepped earlier on. So So you've got your A4 cardstock, you've got your designer series paper. Starting off with your A4 cardstock, or your 8 1/4 by 11 and 5/8 piece. What you want to do is you want to score this at 3 7/8 of an inch on both sides. So take it to there, and then so that's 2 digits down from the 4. 3 7/8 on both sides. You want to grab yourself a pen and or a pencil and a ruler, and we want to mark down. If we just put a T and a B here, this is going to get covered up anyway, just so it just helps us know what is the top and what is the bottom. And then if you want to then just take a ruler and line it up, and then you want to measure at 3 1/4 inches down from each side. Just pop a little pencil mark here, and the same thing, 3 1/4 inches down from the top. Pop a pencil mark there. Okay, so remember it's from the top, 3 1/4 inches down, 3 1/4 inches down, pop a pencil mark. Then we want to then grab our trimmer again, or a scoring tool, whatever it is, whatever you've got, and you want to score from this mark to that score line over here, and from this corner to this score line here. So you just want to pop it in your trimmer, line up your score line with the channel, line a pencil mark up with the channel, and then score. Make sure you have got your scoring blade in place, and then do that on all of those pencil marks. So this one, this one, this one, and this one, and then repeat it on the opposite side. There we go. So you've got something which now looks like this. So you've got a score line, that score line, this score line, and then you've got your diagonal score lines on both sides. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully that does. So that's that part done. Then what we want to do is we then want to take our designer series paper. Okay, so we need to now work out, obviously this is the part which is going to be the inside. So we can go ahead, and that part there can then get stuck down onto the middle. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that part right now. So the largest part which we cut, so which was the 3 5/8 by 8 inches, that there is our largest part. And that then just goes in and then covers up this whole middle section. Take your designer series paper, your 4 smallest pieces, and you want to work out, this is now the inside of the card. So pop your pattern which you want on the inside, make sure you separate it. And then what we want to do is we want to do the same. So we want to mark from this corner to the corner up here, and then cut from there. Now this is at 3 inches now. So you want to now pop a pencil mark at 3 inches. So work on what side. So I'm going to be working on the right hand side first. So I want to pop my pencil mark on the 3 inches. And then what I want to do is I then want to then cut, so not score, I want to cut from that pencil mark to the corner. And the same here on the bigger one, they're going to go corner to corner. And that's that. So that's those pieces. So which goes in like this. Let's get this up. It goes in like that, and then goes in like that. Okay, repeat that on the opposite side. So instead of doing it on the right hand side, now we're going to be doing it on the left hand side. So 3 inches down from the left. And then cut from that point to the corner. So what you've got now is you've got these pieces like this. So we can go ahead and we can then stick those pieces now down onto the inside of our card. So there we have it. So that there is the inside of your card. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold and burnish all of this. Okay, so I'm going to then just bring this one over, fold and burnish, and then we're going to decorate the front. So bring the two center ones over. Like that. And then what you want to do is you then want to then bring this one back on itself. Like so. And then this one over like that. Same on the opposite side. Bring this one over on itself. And then this one back on itself like that. Just make sure that those are nice and crisp, those score lines. And that there is your lapel card. All right, so you can see there that those, some of these get covered up, but when it's opened, it looks absolutely lovely on the inside. And then what we want to do now for the front is we want to do it exactly the same. So grab your coordinating pattern here. Remember what is going to be your left and your right. And we want to then pop a 3-inch mark down on the right hand side panel and a 3-inch mark down on the left hand side panel, and then do exactly the same as what you did on the first one. Cut from the panel from the pencil mark to the corner to the end, and the same over here, pencil mark to corner to corner. So once you've gone ahead and you've gone and done that, then you can then go ahead and you can, like you did with the other one, stick these in on all of the panels. So there we have it. That there is that one. So you've now got the front decorated, you have got the inside decorated perfectly. This folds up like that, and then these lapels go over like that. So then when it stands up, it looks quite nice. Okay, there are lots of this, like this variation of this, like with tuxedo cards. We kind of think this is more of a feminine version of it. It's a nice card. So that's that one. All right, so what we now want to do is we then want to then grab our topper, which we've done, and then create a sentiment and then stamp on the inside as well. So for the sentiment, I'm going to be using Merry Christmas from the same sort of, from the poinsettia petals. He says it's fallen off. There it is. And I'm going to be using that with the Lovely Labels punch. So what first thing I'm going to do is I've got a piece of basic white here measuring 3/4 of an inch wide, and I'm just going to then pop this in my punch, and I'm just going to take out the end part like that. I'm then going to then stamp my sentiment in some Misty Moonlight, because that kind of coordinates with, it's the coordinating colour with the designer series paper. Ink that one up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm then just going to then stamp this onto my bit of paper right here. So there we have it. And then I'm just going to then use this offcut to get my positioning correct. Grab my scissors, and then I'm just going to then just snip up that there. Grab my punch again, and then I know that I have got I've got this correct spacing. So I'm happy with the spacing like that. So remember to use your offcuts here as well. It's a nice little tip. So you've got that one, and then we're going to bring our topper in. And I am just going to now decide what side I want it to go on. So I'm going to have it on this side here. So I'm going to pop myself some glue on the back of, so kind of on my, depending on how you want it to be. So some glue on this part here of my lapel. So then that can then stick on like that. And then I will then just carefully position this where I want it to be. Over like so. It sticks a bit better to the back because the back isn't the velvet, so it's just a plain card on the back, so that sticks quite quickly, sets up. And then to finish this off, we're going to use the sentiment here and the dimensionals. So I'm just going to grab myself some dimensionals and I'm just going to pop this over that. So I'm going to pop some dimensionals kind of like across the middle so it attaches onto the actual poinsettia itself. So using these, and then I'll just add that over the top of my poinsettia, getting that essentially in between the whole card itself, like that. And then just the last finishing touch on this one is I'm going to grab this sentiment here, which is May Magic and Wonder Bloom at this holiday, which I think is perfect for this flower set. We're going to then open this up and we kind of want to pop it behind the flower right here. So I'm aiming for this area right here. Ink this up with the Misty Moonlight again. It works perfectly because this is a light cardstock, light DSP, which we've used. Find that in the center like that, and then down we go. So if you're using a light color on here, you can then stamp directly onto your designer series paper, and that then is your sentiment on the inside. And there we have it. There is today's Funfold Friday, which is a Slimline Lapel fancy fold card with the poinsettia petals done in velvet white cardstock. So what do you think? Did you enjoy? Are you going to create this yourself? Are you going to have a go? So I will just pop the measurements, take a screenshot if you can read my writing. I will pop that down in the description as well, the links to either the writing of this or a link to a blog post will go down below, but there is the instructions right there and the measurements for you in inches. So good, so I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, if you do like to purchase anything from us, links to our online shop can be found down below in the description as well. And remember to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already, or hit that subscribe button as well to be notified of any future videos which we do. So with that in mind, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope you enjoy these Funfold video tutorial series which we do for you. Have a great day. Thank you very much, and we will see you again very, very soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.